Hi there, welcome to BoxPred. Right now I'm going to give my prediction on the upcoming fight on the 12th of March between Sergey Dzinziruk and Sergio Martinez for the WBC Middleweight Title, which Martinez currently holds. My prediction for this fight is a victory for Sergio Martinez by decision. Okay, so I really see this, in my opinion, as the robot against the slickster. Dzinziruk is a very efficient fighter who fights out of Germany and is very typical of type of fighter that would come out of Germany. So let's start by looking at the records. Dzinziruk is unbeaten. He has 37 victories with no losses, no draws, and a 62% knockout ratio. Pretty impressive. And Sergio Martinez has 46 victories, 2 losses, 2 draws, and around 50% knockout ratio. So let's look at Dzinziruk. A relatively unknown quantity. And credit to Sergio Martinez for taking this fight, because Dzinziruk is unbeaten and does pose a threat in this fight. Like I've said, I see him as quite a robotic fighter. This holds positives, strengths, and negatives, weaknesses, both for Dzinziruk. Okay, the main asset that Dzinziruk has, and I've watched videos of him, he has an extremely effective jab. It's quick, it's powerful, he controls fights with it. It's a type of jab, in my opinion, I would compare it to the type of jab that the Klitschko brothers have, where they control fights. He tends to wear his opponent down and then he can get the knockout, or just keep wearing them down and hurting them and getting the points decision. And he is good on the inside. If it comes to the inside, he's pretty good. He has knockout power. Like I said, he's very efficient in what he does. Doesn't seem to take too many risks. He has a good defense, and he's very disciplined. Okay, he's a very disciplined fighter. He's a little bit like a German car. He is efficient, reliable, and so far, in all of his fights, gets the job done. Now, I'll just quickly look at that's his strengths, more Dzinziruk's strengths. Looking at some weaknesses I've seen, I think, in this particular fight for him. He is rather robotic, and I think he looks a bit awkward, and he hasn't got the best foot movement. He's not the quickest guy around the ring. Okay. In contrast, this guy is in total contrast to Sergio Martinez for me. This is what I'm trying to get at. The contrast in these two fighters. It's crazy how it's just a major contrast, in my opinion. I think compared to Sergio Martinez, Dzinziruk is a pretty one-dimensional fighter. He fights one way and that's it. And I don't think he's been tested. He's never had to really come up with a plan B, I don't feel. And basically he's a less mobile of the two fighters. So he pretty much keeps a high guard. He's got a strong jab, which he'll hit you with all night. Extremely effective jab. And then he's got the backup as well. He's a southpaw as well. And he can back it up. And if you come on the inside, he's got the power to end it. Now, just a quick look at Sergio Martinez, who we all know, far more familiar with as a fighter. In my opinion, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters currently out there. And I think what makes him one of the best fighters out there is his versatility, his adaptability. Okay, he is a fighter who can fight on the outside or the inside. He's quick. He's got knockout power. Okay, he's 50% knockout, but if those of you who are aware of his last fight with Paul Williams saw that he has knockout power. He's got a good left hook, which took Williams out. Very devastating knockout punch that was. And whereas he has in the past stayed on the outside, he's a good counterpuncher. He has stayed on the outside and defeated opponents from the outside, counterpunching, and being very mobile, agile, quick. He's got good foot speed, good hand speed. Against Paul Williams in the last fight, for the whole the 2 rounds that the fight went, he came in on the inside and gave it a real grudge match. Took the fight to Williams and showed that he can fight on the inside. He was very effective on the inside against Paul Williams, and he was landing that left hook a lot, almost at will, at some points in that fight. So he can fight on the inside as well. He has power. I think Sergio Martinez has knockout power. I think perhaps he hasn't got the higher percentage because he hasn't chosen to perhaps fight in a style that is going to get him more knockouts. So he hasn't come on the insides too much in his past throughout his career. But now I think he's able to do that. But in this fight, I think he's going to. I think I would rather him fight from the outside, and I'm not sure whether he'll employ that tactic. But he's a clever boxer, and I feel he can fight from the outside in this one and win this. I don't think he should risk going for the KO. He can win the fight by decision rather easily for me because he has a higher punch volume than Dzinziruk, and he's more mobile. He can evade Dzinziruk and he can get counter punches off. The one thing stopping Sergio Martinez in this fight, a possibility of stopping him, is Dzinziruk's jab. As I've said, that's his best asset, and Dzinziruk really needs to employ that jab, and he needs to try and control the fight, possibly cut off the ring to try and slow Martinez down. But again, that's why I don't think he's going to win this fight, because he doesn't have the foot speed and mobility for me to chase Sergio Martinez for 12 rounds and to cut down the ring. The thing is, I've seen a few fights of Dzinziruk's now, and he seems to fight fighters who stand in front of him. They take the jab on the chin and they carry on fighting that way. And he has beaten the likes of Daniel Santos, but Sergio Martinez is another animal. He is going to be very mobile. He's not going to be. He's a moving target. He's not just a sitting duck with a jab to hit. And I think Sergio Martinez could slip the jab, and just take. He needs to take his time and find openings in this one. And I think he can get to Dzinziruk. I've gone for the decision. There is the possibility of a stoppage for Sergio Martinez, in my opinion. If he wears Dzinziruk down, and if he does overwhelm Dzinziruk, if the class level is wider apart than I'm predicting here, then he could stop Dzinziruk. Dzinziruk, I feel his main chance in this one is going to be by knockout. If he lures Sergio Martinez to the inside, although Sergio Martinez is good on the inside, I feel Dzinziruk could get to him and could look for the knockout punch. However, I think Sergio Martinez is too clever for this. He's got a great boxing brain. I do rate him very highly. And while I'm not, Serhiy Dzinziruk is definitely no pushover and definitely poses a threat in this fight, and he's 37-0 for a reason. Understand that he's been fighting out of Germany his whole career, a few fights in the UK early on, but he has to me, it's a rather padded record, and he's only fought in the US once in his last fight, which he won. But that's another thing to take into account. He is fighting in the US for only the second time. Sergio Martinez, with his recent fights, especially in the US, will have a good fan base. He'll probably have the crowd inside. This could you never know, it could have some sort of factor in the fight. Give Sergio Martinez that spur he needs. But basically what I'm thinking is it's going to be the more mobility from Sergio Martinez and his versatility. He's got the experience. Dzinziruk has experience, but I don't think he's fought at the same level. He definitely hasn't fought at the same level as Sergio Martinez, and I feel that Sergio Martinez hands Dzinziruk his first loss in this one. Um, so that's my breakdown of the fight. Definitely a competitive fight, and I'm glad it's happening, because if Dzinziruk pulls this off, believe you me, his level's just going to go straight up like that to beat Sergio Martinez, because he'll then be 38-0. He'll have beaten one of the best fighters in the game right now, and he'll definitely be if he wins this, he'll be definitely have big fights. Um, so let's hope for a good fight. I'm going for Sergio Martinez by decision. Thank you for watching my video. Please comment on this video or on my homepage. Please do subscribe. If you like my videos, I'd like to take this chance to thank those who have already subscribed. I do appreciate it. This is BoxPred. I'm out.